Welcome back, everybody. Yeti Trades here. We're going to go over just a couple things today. We're going to go over one trade that I fumbled, one trade that I nailed, and just some thoughts that I'm having. So let's dive right into it here. The only thing I traded today was futures. And for those of you who don't know, I keep this screen here on another monitor, and I have these two pages here on this monitor, and I just have it moved over here for sake of making the video. On my 8-window layout, I always have SPY here, Qs here, and IWM here, always. They never get replaced. I like to know kind of what the general market's doing based off of these three. And I keep the VIX at the bottom and my AD at the bottom of these two. So when I go to trade futures, for example, M and Q is the Q's mini. If it's first thing in the morning, I'll have all these charts set to 2 minute. And I'll come over here to my 2 window, change it to Q's, and I'll put it to 5 minute. So that I can see kind of two different time frames plus the levels I have drawn up. And I play off that. So what I found on futures, what works for me, is the 2 minute charts. That's the one I'm most comfortable with, have the most success with. It moves fast enough to keep me engaged and keep it moving. I've tried multiple time frames, different types of chart setups. I've done the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes, the 15 minutes. I've done 1 minute, 30 second, 10 second, 2 minute. It's just my bread and butter for futures. Then if it's later in the day, I'll change this one over here to 5 minute, and I'll change this one over here to 15 minute. Just get a bigger breadth of what everything's doing. But for the sake of this video, we'll just keep everything on 2 minute here. So this is the one. Actually, let's start with this one, M2K. This is IWM mini. I had nailed this top right here. Ooh, that is ugly, ain't it? I don't know why that dart's so big. Hey, let's try that. So I nailed that top right there for shorts. Shorted it right there, and I fumbled the bag. So I did my sells, and then you ever have one of those times where you move your mouse and one of your fingers just accidentally click as you're moving the mouse? I was coming up over here, and as I was going across by, I accidentally clicked that and immediately exited my position up here. So I missed this move here. It's hard to say exactly what I would have done, but the style I like to try and play is, if I go in with 6 shares on an order, I'll then set 2, if I'm short, I'll set 2 buy limits, each one at 3, or at least one of them at 3, and then I might just, buy back one at a time as I feel necessary. But I'd like to set 3 and be below the point where I would break even on the trade after fees, and then I move the other ones down and take those profits so I can lock in some gains and still have some left over to try and push for a bigger move. Because I'm better at doing that than selling all 6 down here and then trying to gauge this move right here and determine, is this another reshort spot or not. So this is just how I do it, and I probably would have sold out somewhere in this area here. I would let this come down, work, and as it started to pull back up, I would have cut it, taken the rest of my profits, because you don't have any idea this is going to just come back up and dump again. So lock in what you got. So yeah, fumbled this up here, entered short almost at the very top, and then covered almost at the very top. That one was frustrating. So what did I do? I took M2K off my screen. I didn't want to have to feel like I was missing anything else on it. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to get frustrated over it. Just took it off. Didn't look back. So instead, I waited. Didn't know if I was going to play any options today. I saw this opportunity down here forming. So I went long on the Qs. Oh wait, let me go back and show you what I was playing. Why I went short on IWM real quick. So this 177.50 is a line I've had drawn up for some time as a support resistance line. And would you just look at it? So as I was watching this, it pushed up through, and I went short as it pulled back down. And it happened pretty quick. 2-minute chart here, pushed up, I had the order ready to go, shorted it, and then accidentally covered it. So that's what I was playing there. So Qs, similar idea, you know. I was playing a level in conjunction with this purple MA, the 50 right here. I love having the 50 on my charts. The amount of times I see this kind of thing happen where it beautifully plays off the 50, it works out quite a bit in my personal experience. So anyway, where'd that go? So this is what I was playing. You know, that line was somewhere in this area. Basically, it came down below my support and resistance line that I had drawn up, 350.50. So it came down below that, put in this nice little reversal type doji, shooting star, or whatever it's called, candle, and started to push. As it broke the top of this body right here, when it came down, pushed back up, this is where I got long on Qs. So I went long right here. And I exited right here. When it came up and started to knife back down towards this red VWAP, that's when I exited. And the reason I exited was not because of the knife, but it was because of the way everything else was reacting. I just didn't want to push it when it didn't need to be pushed. I went pretty good size here, made a good chunk of money on this small move. And then I called it. And that's what I want to talk about, is that need to not push it all day long. You don't need to. It's different when you're on a hot streak, when you're on fire, and you're seeing every single thing that the market is presenting it, and you're hitting it. But when you're not on fire, when you're catching those 2 moves out of 3 or 4 attempts, you know, you don't need to push it all day. There's no need to. These setups are going to come back every single day, over and over. Maybe not the exact same stock every day, but they're going to be in the market somewhere giving you the opportunity to make money. You don't need to sit here all day and try to play all this intraday chop. I mean, if you caught, you know, this rounding area here and went long, yeah, that's a good move. If you were able to identify this short and catch that move down, that's another great move. But I don't see the setup here that tells me it was going to do that. So for me, with futures, as soon as it hits 11, I'm logged out. And then I switch over to my demo account here. And I switch over to the demo account just so I can keep testing and tweaking and working on things if there's nothing on the market side that I feel I want to hit. Because, I mean, you know, this stuff right here is not necessarily that easy to hit. You know, if you're going to sit through this in options, you are going to have to watch, you know, it not move very well in your favor until you finally get that nice candle down, those nice 3 candles down. And that option will work against you. You will lose value sometimes watching that go sideways. And that's not fun, especially if you know, sit through, how much time is that? 20 minutes. You sit through 20 minutes of candles there, and finally you're like, you know, I'm out. It's not going anywhere, and then it knives right after you get out. That's even worse. I hate that. So don't feel that need to be locked to your computer. Take a break, go exercise, go work out, hit the gym, go do your grocery run in the middle of the day when the store is less busy, do your laundry, go outside, breathe fresh air, do something. Make love to your wife or yourself if you're lonely. But just step away from the computer for a little bit. You don't need to trade the market all day. And that's pretty much what I did. I enjoy feeding news alerts to you guys, so I'll sit at the computer most of the day, but not all day. That's why I log out at 11 a.m. so I don't start over trading and giving stuff back. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.